Hello everyone and welcome to episode 38 of our game dev tutorials. Today I wanted to focus on code cleanup and debugging. I mentioned that I was going to do this last video. I think learning to debug is super important. If it's something that you are already super competent in and you don't need help with, then hey, these are the things we're going to do. They're on the screen. Feel free to skip the video if you do not care for me to go through this with you. But before you do that, consider hitting that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit that notification bell, guys, if you haven't, so you guys know when the stuff comes out. All of those things really help the channel out. We are actually starting to grow faster than we used to, and I'd like to keep that going. So hey, please do those things. Subscribe, like, share this with your friends. If you have programmer friends and they're looking to get into this kind of stuff, share the tutorials, please. Those kind of things are awesome. Patreon, if you're so inclined. And if this is helping you out in a professional manner, it would really be nice if you kicked me back some of that through Patreon. I promised that I would spend the money on the channel, and I am. In fact, we are about to go over the $100 mark. We will do that at the end of this month when Patreon charges. And I will send out work to the artist. I think that if we have the hero done, and I'll probably be able to squeeze out like thumbnails for the videos, so more professional looking thumbnails. That's probably all I'm going to be able to get to. $100 doesn't go real far when you're paying a professional artist. So, but I will hand all of that out. The thumbnail you're not going to want, but the sprite will hand it out, and if I can get more done for that money, then I will get it done. So yeah, Patreon, if you're so inclined, would be great. It really does help me out, and we'll make this place a nicer place over time. Yeah, so debugging, right? So we have 4 bugs here that I want to fix today. The first 3 are pretty quick. At least I think they'll be pretty quick. Who knows? Debugging can be a pain. But we're going to fix a bug where the targeting circle shows up at 0, 0. I'm not actually even sure when that happens, so we'll have to test it to figure out when that's happening, and then that'll give us a better idea of where to start. We need to fix a bug where the skill buttons are blacked out when they're empty. We'll see that when we test this here. There's an A* bug that I'll point out at the end of that first test as well. So we'll do one test and show all 3 of these major bugs. And then we have the blink bug, which I discussed, I believe, in the last video, or maybe... yeah, I think it was the last video. Where if you click the button, it blinks to where your cursor is at that point. When we click the button, we want to click on the screen again in order to verify the blink, okay? So those are our 4 bugs. This one will take a while because this is it's some extra stuff, and I want to talk about it, and we'll definitely talk about this one a little bit too. So let's get started. Let's jump in. Okay. So like I said, I want to just run this real fast and see where this first bug's even at. So you can see the black. That's one of the problems there. And then, so... okay, it's not there. Maybe blink. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so we blink, and then that gets put there. Okay, so there's 2 bugs, and the last one is this weird, strange bug. So it's not actually weird and strange. It's actually completely expected. It's something I knew about when I did the code. Unfortunately, some of you guys have figured out that it happens and have mentioned it, and so I said I would cover it. So basically, when you stand on a blocked location, then the mobs that are trying to get to you can't do it, so they just freeze. That's no good. The solution I'm going to give for that is a 98% of the solution, and then I'm going to discuss how to get the edge case taken care of. So if you want to program that on your own, then you can. But we'll go through that. Okay, so we know what happens on our circle problem happens on blink now. So first of all, let's open up blink. We're not doing anything with the targeting circle here, I don't think, right? Just blink effect. So nothing here. Let's look in Flame Wave, because we do use the targeting circle there. No, it's not even in here. Maybe it's in skill. There it is. Okay, oh, so what I just used, I do it quickly. It's go to definition. It takes you to the code for which you're referencing, okay? That's super powerful and super important. When your project gets really large, you're going to find files way faster that way. Anyway, so here it is. This is our targeting circle, okay? Our targeting effect. So let's see. So, and targeting effect not equal null. Okay, so this is where it comes through, right? So we're passing the targeting effect. I just happen to look down and see that right now. So if it's null, then it won't even do this. So let's just set it to null, right? Let's just say in blank targeting effect equals null. I mean, that seems like it would work. Remember, the base constructor works before the child constructor does, so this will happen after this happens. So I don't know. Let's try that. Okay, let's blink up here. Look, we are blinking, and oh, those turn black too. Let's see if we have time for that as well. Looks like we're working. That works for me. That makes me happy. All right, cool. So that simple bit there, we added that because we already tested for this. All right, cool, done, sweet. So we basically we're stopping it from passing the effect when blink is being used. That works. Another way to solve that is to override this whole function in blink. There's no virtual here, but you could write virtual here and then override the it's not a function, it's a property in blink, and that would work. Those are both solutions. I'm happy with this one-liner. That's good. Okay. Now the blackened stuffs. So that is our skill bar, right? So skill bar. And maybe adding that code that clears our shader out. Here we go. This code. It clears our shader out. Probably right there. Because that's right before our skill bar. Let's see what happens. No. No good. Okay, so probably not clearing our shader out as the problem. Let's dive in deeper. So again, go to definition. I love go to definition. Find all references I like too. So you can see everything that is happening there. So let's go to definition here. Well, there's the clear code. And there's the draw. Oh my god. Black. Well, it was displaying black because I was telling it to. Yay me. That's a quick fix. That should do the trick. Mistakes were made, right? It happens. It happens to the best of us. There we go. Much better. Nice and pretty. That's the way they're supposed to look. Alright, cool. Now let's talk about our A star. Alright, let's do that. Let's talk about our A star. I guess let's draw a grid real fast. Bear with me for a second. Get a... Alright, that should be plenty. make ourselves a little makeshift grid so we can talk about things and kind of give a visual, right? So in our A star, we want our monster to get to our dude, right? I'm not going to do the dude, but let's say that we have the tower and our dude is standing on the tower. Well, the monster starts looking and it gets to here and says, well, I can't get any closer, but I also can't get to where he is, so there's no path. So what we want to do is we want to just take this location and set our end location to always empty. If we do that, then it'll just path right to him. Now, here's the edge case where that doesn't work, right? So if all of these are blocked as well, now setting this to empty doesn't do anything. Well, it does. It sets this to empty, but it doesn't fix our problem. This is our edge case. This is why I say it's a 98% solution. In this case, it can't find the path. Now, I'm not going to solve this edge case today for you. Maybe later. But a good solution to this would be to say, no path to the hero, fine. I'm heading to the end point, our tower thing, home base bit that the little spiralings try to destroy. So essentially, no path to the hero, fine. Path it to the tower and go hit the tower. So that would be a good solution. Not going to go into that today, but this is a good option. Okay, so where's our mobs? Our mobs, we want to find all references for find path. Okay, so we have find path just in mob and spiderling, so we only have 2 of those. And then let's go to the reference. Go to definition, I'm sorry. Get path, that's the one. Go to definition. Find out. Well, let's see. Okay, so this is only called here, which is great. Go to definition. So you see how I'm jumping around these? I can read down here where all of the different references to that item are, which is huge for debugging. Sometimes you don't remember that you called a function in a certain place, and so it's really important to see where they're used. And it tells you the file that they're used in, and then the line, and then the character in the line, and all that kind of stuff. So super helpful stuff right here in get all references. And then go to definition just jumps you straight to where you want to work. Huge, 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 huge to use these things. If you're not already using them, please, please, please start. Okay, so we're here. We know the start location, we know the end location, and we know whether we're allowing diagonals or not. That's all we're passing in. Well, just so happens one of those pieces of information is the piece of information that we need, which is the end location. 1 second, let me get a drink. Okay, so this end location, all we need to do is make sure that it is available. So here is where we're blacking out parts of our grid. We're making them impassable, right? So let's stop it from making it impassable if ij is equal to end x and y, and those have to be ends. So if I is is not equal to what I do here? That's done. End dot x, and that will need to be an int. Doesn't need to be an int. It should be an int. Or j is not equal to int end y. Okay. So that should do it. I mean, that simple little if statement right there should be enough to allow for the mobs to get to you when you're standing on a blocked location. And now that blocked location could be a mountain, it could be a wall, it could be a tower, it could be whatever. But since our hero is not bound by the grid, this helps to alleviate these issues. Another edge case would be your hero walks off the grid. Well, this doesn't solve that, right? Your hero should be bound to the grid in the game eventually. Is that something we're going to solve today? No. But your hero should be bound to the grid. So that's an edge case I'm going to ignore because it's not something that should be able to happen. Okay, so let's test this. Make sure it works, right? Let's go here. Let's put our little tower thing down. Let's make sure, okay, we got an enemy. We're moving around on it, and they are not stopping. They're coming straight for us. Awesome. That's what we wanted. That's what we predicted. That's what we wanted. So, we have solved all 3 of our first bugs, which is awesome. And now we're going to deal with this mamma jamma. Whoop. We don't want that, right? We want to be able to click. So, let's think. First of all, do we have code for clicking? Of course we do. It's right here. In FlameWave, right? And in Blink, we just go straight into it. So we know we need to add the click code somewhere. But how do we know if a button is clicked or whether we just called the click function from somewhere else? Well, we could either have 2 functions, 2 separate functions, one for clicking and one for pressing the button. I don't really like that solution, so let's think some more. I mean, that solution would work, but it seems a little bit sloppy. What else can we do? We could detect hover. And skill button when we are doing the click function. So let's see. Skill button, go to definition, but 2D, go to definition. So this here is what we're clicking. So we could override this and then do a hover test in there. And then we would need to pass a packet rather than just the skill back to hero, right? Because hero we just did this, so hero only gets a skill back, but we would need a skill and its like type thing, its selection type. So we'd have to pass a packet with those 2 things. So like a skill selection type packet or something. Let me link those up here. And then in skills, we'd have to be able to accept that information, what kind of selection it had, and then we could process the information. I like that. Now it sounds convoluted and complicated maybe, but the only edge case I can think of for this being a problem would be if you're pressing like 2 with the mouse over the button, then it will consider that as if you clicked the button and it will want you to click somewhere else. But if your mouse is over the UI in a decent game, then it's going to block presses anyway, so it's not that bad of a situation. Okay, I like that. That's a good situation. I like this. Because this allows us to do this in the future with other skills as well. So, I like that. Let's see. Where to start with this? Let's start with button 2D, and we're just going to override this mamma jamma. In skill button is right here. Go to definition. See, all this go to definition. I do it constantly. So override here. Okay, so now we know we're dealing with it here. We needed to test hover. Well, our hover test is here. Okay. So if we've clicked the button, We're going to test for hover. That's not going to work. Okay, so decent solution, maybe not the cleanest ever, but some would actually say you should have this anyway. And I've actually started using this more and more offset. So last offset, and then right inside here, last offset equals offset. Okay, now we have offset saved. We can put it in here. Okay. So now we're testing the information we need. That's good. That's good. Skills. Let's add a folder. Skill button. Because this is something we're doing with skill button. We need a new skill selection type packet. Yeah, that's good. Type packet. Cool. Let's get rid of the namespace. Grab our includes. Jeez. Nope, not there. Here. Make this public. And then here we need an int selection type and skill. Both those should probably be public, because that's kind of the whole point of the packet. Public skill selection type packet. And then in here we'll have int selection type and skill selection type equals selection type and skill equals skill. Oops. Cool. Now we have our packet. That's awesome. So our packet, we create our packet here probably. Temp packet equals info, which is our skill, right? So oh, no, that's not right. New, and then we'll say what 1 will be pressing our button and 0 will be clicking the button. How about that? So we'll start it at 1, and we'll say our skills here. This is okay. So now if we're in here, if we're hovering, selection type equals 0, and then we're going to pass the temp packet through here. Now in Hero it is not set up to take that, right? It does not handle what we just did. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we need parens around this thing. We need, I think it's just info. Yeah. Okay. So we have info. Now it's not just, it's not skill info anymore. It's temp packet.skill. And now we need that data. We need that selection type. So in skill, public int selection type. And then down here, we'll set the standard to 1. Just to begin with. Okay, so here we are. Got all this dealt with. We're ready to accept that information from here. So current skill dot selection type equals, not 2 equals, just 1, temp packet dot selection type. Whoops. Okay, so now we've loaded in how we've been selected. For FlameWave, it doesn't matter. For skill, it does. Remember, though, in FlameWave we have our click information. Let's grab that. Let's find blank. Okay, so let's just paste that in for a second. No, that's not what we want. Let's just leave that code there for a minute, and we'll come back to it. I just don't want to not have it. So if, whoops, insert got turned on. Selection type equal 1. So this is normal, right? We pressed the button, we didn't click it. Press the keyboard button, we didn't click the other button. Else, we want, do we want any of this? No. We want this. And this takes in the mouse. Yeah, so this is again what we want. And since we have the same code twice, that's, I won't say it's bad, but it's not optimal. So public virtual void targeting base. Let's grab that mamma jamma. Put it in here. So the only difference between the two selection types is that one waits for another mouse click. Let's see, how we doing? Offset, doesn't like that. Okay, so let's pass an offset, no big deal. We have it right there. Okay. Let's build this puppy and run it and see if it works. I'm hoping it does. Play that. I'm going to click it. We didn't move. Boom. We worked. Let's make sure it works regularly. Make sure this works. Alright, everything still works, and yet we have solved all our bugs. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be it for this part of the tutorial. I have decided that I'm going to go ahead and do discussions. I'm going to try to get those out on Tuesdays. So some of them will be about, my personal opinions on programming. Some of them will be about, the game industry. Others will be about indie game studios, how to start a studio, how to work with a studio, how to get things done, how to stay afloat, those kinds of things. It'll also allow me space to do deeper dives on individual topics without doing the coding that day. So there's that as well. And I think that'll be a good thing. It's an outlet for me, and it's a lot less work than setting up the tutorials, so getting the second video out should be something that's possible. So I wanted to mention that. And again, guys, if you like this video, please like the video. If you don't, you're welcome to thumbs down it. Like if I'm doing a bad job, you can let me know. Or tell me in the comments, or just comment in general. All of these things are massively helpful towards the game kind of getting, not the game, the tutorial getting out there. And I do want to help people. So, yeah. Discord, guys, if you have any questions, just come ask. I am in Discord a lot. Am I in Discord 24/7? No. But am I in Discord 10 plus hours a day right now? Yeah, I am. So just come and ask the questions. Other people have already, and you won't be the only one. So yeah, come and talk. It'd be great. Guys, I think that's it for today. So I hope you guys learned a little bit about the debugging process. I didn't get into stepping through problems on this. None of them ended up complicated enough to need that. I didn't get into using the watch functionality. I didn't get into a few things. So I'll probably be doing some more debugging episodes in the future. And I may even set up problems on purpose that I can step through with you guys and use the watch function of Visual Studios. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.